These brave survivors deserve truth and justice. Many have carried their trauma for decades, waiting for recognition and an end to their suffering. Families who lost loved ones face the pain of the abuse, the grief of death, and being forced to live without closure. Passing the Epstein Files Transparency Act is essential to honoring survivors' courage and providing long overdue resolution. You can stop the harm by passing this bill to release the files and holding the powerful accountable. Passing the Epstein Files Transparency Act is vital to stop ongoing harm and set the precedent that sexual violence is not tolerated. It is highly likely that some of the perpetrators identified in the files are still committing acts of pedophilia, abuse, and trafficking. Exposing them will finally allow justice to intervene and prevent further victimization. Moreover, not releasing the Epstein files protects the abusers. It prioritizes the perpetrators above your citizens and above victims. The files are expected to reveal individuals in positions of influence who enabled or actively participated in abuse. Currently, major institutions, including our government, our banks, and our companies, may be led by abusers who are named in the Epstein files. Not releasing this information allows them to continue their reign of terror and power and control, increasing their influence and thus increasing their ability to cause more harm and cover up their actions. Releasing the files will dismantle pathways of harm and serve as a warning to others who might seek to exploit their wealth or influence to commit sexual violence. Transparency is a deterrent. Exposing networks of abuse makes it harder for similar systems of exploitation to operate in the shadows. Accountability must extend to the powerful. No one should be allowed to commit sexual violence, no matter how much influence, money, or control they have. Exposing them will uncover systems of abuse that have existed for decades. But acknowledging institutional failures helps us strengthen laws, strengthen policies, and strengthen protections to stop abuse in the future. Without systemic prevention, the same patterns will repeat. Preventing future harm requires breaking the silence that fuels rape culture. Hiding abuse normalizes it, while transparency sends an unmistakable message that sexual violence has consequences no matter who you are. We demand transparency, accountability, and an end to the ongoing harm. Releasing the Epstein files is crucial to protecting our citizens from abuse and upholding our democracy. Epstein's network crossed international lines in trafficking and exploiting victims around the world. In releasing these files, the U.S. will lead by example, strengthening global cooperation against sexual exploitation, ensuring justice is pursued not only in our country, but everywhere that harm has been allowed to flourish. Finally, passing the Epstein Files Transparency Act will uphold the integrity of our democracy. Individuals from both parties are expected to be implicated. Transparency is the only way to demonstrate that justice is not partisan. Justice, transparency, and accountability are the rights of the people. Full disclosure is the only path to restoring public trust and ending the perception of government cover-ups. People must see that elected officials can hold each other accountable. Without this, faith in our government collapses. How can we trust our leaders to pass laws protecting us and our children from sexual violence if they cannot hold each other accountable for committing it? At its core, this is about restoring trust in our justice system and our government and our collective ability to end sexual violence. 69% of Americans believe there is a cover-up, and 86% support releasing all files from the Epstein case. Every day the truth is withheld, public confidence erodes further. We demand the immediate release of the files, with only minimal redactions as is necessary to protect victims and ensure national security. We stand united in calling on Congress to use every tool available, subpoenas, lawsuits, and the swift passage of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Justice cannot be delayed any longer. Survivors, families, and the American people deserve nothing less than the full truth. Thank you. Now let me be clear in a few points. This letter has the support of 48 organizations calling for immediate action. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is the only sure path to fully releasing these records. This is not a partisan fight. Accountability and transparency must apply to everyone regardless of party. We call on the House and the Senate to swiftly pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Now, I am honored to introduce Representative Adelita Grijalva, whose bravery, persistence, and refusal to back down in the face of intense pressure made her an indispensable catalyst for change. Representative Grijalva, thank you for standing with survivors. The podium is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much,